hospitalization, and death could decrease in the months ahead.
Newly released studies suggest the effectiveness of the two mRNA vaccines against infection drops over time due to the rapidly spreading Delta variant.
Despite the summer surge of new cases fueled by the unvaccinated, the Biden administration will reach a new milestone by the end of the day. More than 200 million Americans with at least one vaccine dose.
In an effort to push even more Americans to roll up their sleeves, President Biden is directing HHS to come up with new regulations requiring nursing homes have all staff vaccinated in order to receive Medicare and Medicaid funding.
If you visit, live, or work in a nursing home, you should not be at a high risk for contracting COVID from unvaccinated employees.
The Biden administration is also extending 100% federal reimbursement for states who mobilize the National Guard in their COVID-19 response efforts. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
Now, federal officials say they are awaiting more data before giving booster shot recommendations for minors and those who receive that one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Well, Mississippi continues to report thousands of COVID-19 cases. A day. Today's numbers from the State Department of Health show 4,085 cases and 36 deaths. Mississippi is inching closer to 400,000 people who've been infected by the virus. As of Monday, which are the most recent numbers, more than 1,600 people were hospitalized and 447 of those patients were ICUs throughout the state, or in ICUs rather. The patient load on Mississippi is the highest since the pandemic started. The state's vaccination rate is 36%, which is the second worst in the nation, behind Alabama. 98% of cases in Mississippi are in unvaccinated people. Well, masks are back in place in all city-owned buildings in Columbus. City council members voted for the mandate last night. Mayor Keith Gaskin says the council will discuss the possibility of returning to a citywide mask ordinance when they meet on August 26th. The mayor says there are a lot of opinions out there. He says his goal as mayor is to provide information and guidance from medical experts. Gaskin says the city is doing everything they can to provide the best information to the people who live in Columbus, and he says part of his role is sitting down and listening to concerns.
It would have been wise to bring in local health professionals and local business people to sit down as adults in the room and actually discuss the data and the facts. I think that it's hard to find a one solution fits all. I respect people's opinions, and I think that we need to work from facts and not from hysteria and gossip. I've asked people to avoid the name calling and finger pointing, but let's try to work together on this.
The mayor answered questions today as part of his regularly scheduled Wednesday news conference following the city council meeting. Well, all it takes is a shot in the arm. Vaccinated Mississippi State students can sign up for a drawing to possibly win free tuition. The prize, valued at around $9,000, will be given to a current vaccinated student. All you have to do is submit your vaccination record and at covidvaccine.mstate.edu. And that drawing is scheduled for Friday.
All right, we're looking at some big storms over North Mississippi, prompting some flash flood warnings for Prentiss County as well as Tishomingo County. Now, the good news is that the bulk of the heaviest activity is starting to shift over toward the shoals in northwest Alabama. You can see that some of those heavier showers and storms have been rolling through northeast Mississippi in the last hour to 90 minutes. And in that time span, we've seen about 2 to even 4 inches of rain being estimated by Doppler radar. And that's the reason that these flash flood warnings have been posted. Now it's not raining everywhere. In fact, for the Golden Triangle area, we're not seeing much just yet, but another batch of storms out toward Winona could wind up in here a little bit later. I'll have that and more coming up, including a check of your weekend forecast. Andrea?
All right, Isaac, thanks a lot. 2 brothers are accused of shooting a man at a West Point gas station. 26-year-old Avery Manning and 24-year-old Jordan Manning are both charged with aggravated assault. Police Chief Avery Cook says more arrests are possible in this ongoing investigation. This shooting happened Monday night on Brame Avenue. The victim remains in the hospital tonight. The Manning brothers remain in the Clay County Jail. A Monroe County man is accused of having sex with a teenager and is indicted on several charges. Jonathan Paul Williams is now charged with 4 counts of statutory rape and 1 count of touching a child for lustful purposes. Lowndes County Sheriff Eddie Hawkins says a report from Child Protective Services back in January started this investigation. Deputies say the alleged victim is under the age of 15. Williams was arrested earlier this year. A fight on a Columbus school bus ends with 3 students arrested and suspended from school. Now, this all happened Monday in the back of the bus, and it involved several students from Columbus Middle School. This is Instagram video. It shows the confrontation that parents say began with bullying. Jessica McCaw says her daughter, Francesca, the girl seen being pulled off this bus here, has often been a victim of bullying and that a group of students had planned to ambush her on the bus. The mother of another student involved in that brawl tells a different story. Both girls were arrested by Columbus police and are now suspended from school.
It really hurt me to watch how they had my baby. They could have killed her. She could have fell off the back of the bus.
My daughter is the victim. From other students that rode the bus, I had been told that my daughter didn't say anything to the girl that morning. That evening, the girl was still picking at my daughter.
Now, coming up at 6, we're going to hear from the principal of Columbus Middle. Meanwhile, McCaw told us that she will be withdrawing her daughter from the school permanently. The other mother told us her daughter will no longer be taking the bus to school. Especially when it comes to buses. State law says that you have to stop for a school bus. It doesn't matter which direction you're headed. If the bus is stopped, you need to stop also. Drivers have to wait until all children have crossed the street, the road, or even the highway. Watch for the arm on the bus. It extends to let drivers know that the bus is stopped. Lights on the bus also indicate slowing or stopping. Passing a bus when it is stopped is illegal and it's dangerous.
When mom and dad sends them off to school from that bus stop, you know, they're anticipating on their child getting to school safely and getting home from school safely, and just help everyone out to do your part and treat it as though it was maybe your child getting on or off that bus. If you keep that in mind, then you'll make the right decisions and stop and wait for the bus to be loaded or unloaded.
Buses running county routes are normally on the road earlier and dropping off later.